Hey everyone, thank you for clicking on this video. This is another team roping tips video. We're going to break down a few runs and we're not going to mess around. We're going to get right into it. But before we do, I just want to say thanks to everybody that always watches my videos. I really appreciate it. And also thank you for always hitting that like button. I really appreciate that. Leave us a comment, anything you'd like to see or whatever. I'd love to hear from you guys. And if you've never been to our channel, this is your very first time, you need to go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and that notification bell if you enjoy team roping. It's totally free to do that. We just post a lot of team roping content, and I'd love for you to be able to see this stuff and share with your friends, your roping buddies, and that sort of thing as well. But yeah, let's not mess around. We're going to get into the very first run of the third round of this roping right here. So let's watch the run. It's going to play it back in slow-mo, and we'll break it down. This is the slow motion. We're just going to watch it real fast, and then I will get off into breaking it down. I absolutely love being able to watch these runs back in slow motion, just because when they're ran in regular time, in regular speed, it's really hard to focus on things. So that's why I love this. And so at this point, I'm going to stop and I'm going to say, if you know the channel, you know the deal. But what we do is we go around and we film full ropings for you to watch, just like the one I'm breaking down right here. And we put them on our website, getemleft.com. And we put up 2 new ropings for every month, and you can be a member and you can watch those ropings every single month. Like this roping that we're breaking down is the open Perry Bigbee Memorial roping. We also have the 15 on there. And I also want to say, if you haven't checked out the website and if you're not a member, now's a perfect time, because we're going back to this same spot next week actually, and filming the biggest east of the Mississippi in the same area. And man, these guys are just really good. There's an open rope and there's a 15. We may also film a 13. And then the 1st of October, we're going to Texas, in Athens, Texas. Going to be filming some really big open ropings and a lot of stuff going on there. So it's a great thing that you get for the price. And, in anything, if you don't want to watch the ropings, but you like watching our YouTube videos and you want to support us, that's a fantastic way to do it, is just creating your account on the website. But anyways, so let's get into it. Actually, I'm going to go back to the fast motion to show you the first thing. Okay, the first thing that I want to talk about is something I've talked about in a previous video, but I think this is so crucial, and I think this run really shows it really well. And it's how Marcus here holds his horse up when he nods, and then he basically gives the horse his head, instead of kind of letting loose a little bit and then pulling back up. He kind of lets loose and then pull back up and then let loose again. He don't do that, but I see a lot of people do that. They get a little, anxious, and man, that just totally ruins the start of your run. Your horse, when you nod your head and the gate rattles, he's going to be looking, he's going to be trying to go. But if you'll just kind of tighten up a little bit in the bits, and then once you feel ready to go, then you just completely put your hands down and let him go. And this is a prime example of it. And as a header, I think this is so crucial. So this is a great example. Watch this. It's perfect. He comes out, puts it on him. Now let's go to the slow motion. Okay, the second thing that I want to talk about is also on the head side. And what you can see here is this is a pretty good running steer. And, Marcus really reaches on this steer. I don't know what number header he is, but he's very, very talented header. And healer too, but he really reaches on this steer. But one thing that I saw when I saw him run, so when he got out, a little bit late or whatever, but he didn't lean way up over his horse's head. And I think it's something you'll see a lot of, especially intermediate ropers and lower number ropers. They'll be behind or they'll be late, and they want to lean over the horse's head and try to get there faster. Well, you're really slowing yourself down. What you need to do in those situations is make your horse work. Put your feet into effect and kicking your horse, but stay straight up like that instead of trying to lean over like you're going to reach the steer faster that way. And I really just saw that on this run, and I like how he does that. He stays pretty. I mean, he is leaning up just a little bit. That's okay. But I'm talking about where you see people just really leaning over their horse when you really need to be just focusing on kicking up and making your horse do the work and get to the steer. And then the next thing that I want to talk about is the fact that, you can see obviously on this steer's horns that he has manure on them. And the way that Marcus throws this rope to not get any manure. I'm just kidding, guys. That's a joke. All right, here's the next one. The next one is whenever he goes to dally, I want you to focus on how he takes his left hand and he goes to the right with it. And, if you've been in timber for a while, they say cross your hands. And this is a prime example. Just watch his arms. Watch how the left arm goes over to the right. So you can see cross them right there. Okay, now we're going to transition over to the heel side. The first thing that I want us to see is the heeler. As you'll notice after Marcus ropes this steer and gets him, you'll see how Jason here kind of pulls up on his horse a little bit because he's anticipating that corner. When this steer's running pretty hard, and he's on a long line. I mean, obviously Marcus can really handle steers, but you never really know exactly what that corner is going to be like. So he's getting full control of his horse, and he's kind of pulling up, and he's kind of ready for whatever. I want you to watch when it goes on. See how he pulls up and he kind of pulls his horse even in there a little bit. And now the second thing that I want to talk about on the heeler is it's obvious right there. Look at his eyes, how they're on the steer's feet. And if we'll go back just a little bit, he's always looking at those feet. And that's a crucial thing that I know I've talked about in the past as well. But I almost feel like a lot of people don't really get a grip of it and really take it into effect of how important it is for a heeler to focus on the steer's feet. Now, you want to see the peripherals of the horse's head, the horse's head when the loop goes on and all that kind of stuff. But your main focus as a heeler is roping the feet. So I challenge you to start watching the feet more, going down the pen, in the corner, and obviously when you deliver. And the last thing I want to talk about on this run from the heel aspect is how his horse is shutting down before the delivery. I see a lot of guys that heel, and what'll happen is they're delivering, but their horse is still going to the steer. And that's just so out of whack. What you want to do is you want to have, as you're starting to deliver, that horse is shutting down. Watch this. You'll even notice how he pulls up on his horse just a little bit right when he's delivering. And what I would suggest, if you're working on this and you realize you're like, hey, I really need to start doing this, start out on a machine or, obviously something like that, not live cattle, where you can get your horse to get in that rhythm of, hey, when he gets ready to deliver and pulls up, I need to start shutting down. But watch how, obviously he's got a good grip there, but he really gets in the horse's mouth, get him shut down before delivery. See how he pulled back right before he delivered. You want that separation when you're delivering as a heeler. It's almost as if the loop's going down and the steer's going away from you, and the steer just runs into the loop. So here's another run that I saw, and it's focusing on Clark watching the steer's legs the whole time as he's coming out of the box and going down the pen. It's going to run it back in slow motion, but obviously I don't know what they were on 2. This is the 3rd round. But so obviously they're trying to be pretty fast. And you can see he comes out and he's ready. But I want you to watch how in this slow motion how his eyes are always on the steer's feet. The whole time of the run, his focus is on the steer's feet. And that's how he's able to rope that steer so fast, is because he's looking at the steer's feet. I just want to make that known to you guys that is serious. And if you're heeling and you're not doing that, I think you're really costing yourself. Okay, here's one more run I want to look at. We got Marcus again on the head side. I thought this would be cool to use him again and show you what I saw here. It's really good, solid run. But one thing I've seen him do on this run, which I want to talk about, we'll play back in a slow motion, is how he pulled his horse up before delivery. So watch this right here. He gets ready to deliver. He pulls his horse up before he delivers. Now, why is that so important? Think about it. he was out. He didn't break the barrier or anything like that. So why did he pull his horse up before he delivered? He's trying to get his horse to the same speed of the steer. He don't want to, his horse obviously wasn't rating too well, so he don't want to run past the steer. And what that did by him shutting his horse down, and I'm going to tell you why it's important, he shut his horse down where he's able to rope the steer fast, be snappy, get to the horn, and get out quickly. And so a lot of times we think, nah, let's not pull our horse up. Let's just go ahead, rope the steer, because we're going to be faster. When really, if we'll slow down, set our horse down, rope the steer like he did here, we'll be faster that way. Let's watch that again. It's coming out, pulls his horse up, gets in speed with that steer, gets it on him. And so here's the very last run that I want to show you guys. And it's going to be focused on the hillside and what Chase does right here. And it's all with the separation that he has, like I talked about earlier, and how that is important. As we watch this in slow motion, you'll see right before he delivers, he pulls his horse's head up a little bit to get that separation, and the steer is going away from him in the delivery. Watch. Perfect. The separation is key, and if your horse is not really starting to shut down in your delivery, I mean, as a healer, I think you're probably costing yourself faster times and legs and all that kind of stuff as well. That's a really good run as well. There's a lot of really good runs on this roping. And, I mean, if you hadn't watched this full roping and you don't have an account with GetEmLeft.com, I'm going to one more time encourage you to do that, not only because of these ropings. We have 10 full ropings right now that you can watch, but the ropings that we have coming up in the next few months are just going to be phenomenal. I mean, it's totally worth the $4.99 a month. I can promise you that. I know to me the price seems way cheap, but I do this for fun. Basically, that money just helps me to be able to travel and continue to go and film this stuff and continually try to grow the website. But anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have, all I ask is for you to hit that like button. I really would appreciate it, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't, and put in the comment section some stuff you'd like to see, what you think about this video, maybe something you need help with, anything I can do to help you guys. I'd love to be able to help you with your roping. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon on the next video.